Grateful, exhausted, here. Those are the words I respond with when people these days ask me, how are you doing? I mean, I'm honest with them. I'm not being a Debbie Downer. I'm not telling them how stressful my life is. I mean, I'm alluding to it, but ultimately, I am always grateful for everything I have. And that's the first thing I want people to hear. But second, I'm exhausted. Yeah, I mean, this should be the universal response that parents have for each other, especially like me, who not only have one child, but then you also have one that's under the age of one, and both parents work. Yeah, I mean that's by default exhausting. And I'm here because getting places, simply arriving, is very difficult to accomplish. I mean, and I'm assuming that it's pretty normal. Like for example, this weekend that's ending right now as I'm shooting this, we showed up to a birthday party as a family of four, which was amazing that even happened. As a family of four, we showed up to the birthday party, and we go in to check in, and the girl at the desk says to my wife, "Now, are you the party mom?" And right then I thought something's not good here if that's what they're asking my wife. So yeah, turns out we were a day early. I guess it's better than being a day late. But by the time we could all, try to get there the next day, naps, cleaning the house, so just half of us made it there. And sure enough, one of the few people I knew at the party, same situation. It was just one parent and one kid because that's all they could get there. And I even asked them, I said, have you ever showed up the wrong day to a party? And of course, yeah, so I guess for us, it took 6 years into being parents that this happened. But it's funny too, the concept of even having friends, when you're a parent, in this situation, especially, I was with having one that's under a year old and then having another one. How do you have time for friends? Do I have friends? Yes. Do I have time for friends? No. What do I have time for other than working and being a parent? That's what I do. I'm really confused by that. And honestly, I'm confused how people even have things for sports. How could you have time to watch? I'm so confused by that. I just go to bed exhausted every day. I'm not complaining again because I'm grateful. But something that's very important to me as a human being is that I'm always honest. To the best of my ability, if someone asks me a question, if someone's going to go through the trouble of communicating with me, I want to give them a response that is honest, direct, positive, realistic, optimistic, but at the same time, I don't want to be pessimistic because I could tell someone all the things that are stressing me out. But again, if it's another parent hearing those things, grateful, exhausted, and here, then that itself is a more interesting response. It tells a story that's very familiar, very related to by the other person hearing that as a parent. So that's where I'm at, and I'm not ashamed of that. I'm not pretending it's anything other than that. And it'll eventually end. I mean, when the one that's 8 months old is off bottles and onto solid food, that'll be one step closer, not rushing things along, but it gets easier as they get older. And I know that because I've got a 6-year-old too. So, but right now, that's where I'm at, and that's the honest answer I'm going to give people. I'm not one of those people who are, hey Nick, how you doing? I'm never going to be like, oh yeah, it's going great, unless I am having a great day, and sometimes I do, and often I do. But ultimately, if my answer is always grateful, if that's the first thing they hear from me, then that tells them a lot about my story here, that I'm not a victim of the circumstances. I'm victorious. I recognize, hey, there's a plot line going on here. There's a struggle here. There's a plot. There is a plot, and I'm the protagonist in this plot, but it's not getting the best of me. I'm exhausted, and that's proof that I'm trying hard. And again, I'm here. Just being able to show up says a lot when you're in my situation, my position, which a lot of you are. And by the way, I didn't introduce myself. If you've never heard of me, my name is Nick Shell, and I have a daddy blog. It's called Family Friendly Daddy Blog. I'll put the link in this video. Don't confuse me with this guy though. Yeah, this isn't me. I know people say we look like, this isn't me. but you could help me out. If you know who he is, let me know, because my whole 2017 New Year's resolution is to find this guy. He's my twin. I'm trying to find him. Like, seriously, if you have any idea or can help me, please do. That's just bonus material. Remember, grateful, exhausted, and here. That is a creative, fun answer. Then you can still be honest at the same time. Thanks for watching my video. And again, Family Friendly Daddy Blog, that's my blog. I write about being a parent, but from a realistic and positive and family-friendly perspective.